Hi everybody. So we are going to, tomorrow we're going to my brother's to have a ham dinner, and he asked if I could make my famous baked macaroni and cheese. So yeah, I pretty much follow, I don't know if anybody remembers Mueller's, but I pretty much follow that recipe and I tweak it a little bit. So yeah, so let's get to cooking. Got all my ingredients. I've got a stick of butter. This is for a full box of macaroni and cheese. So you want to make sure that you have the 16-ounce, whatever brand you get. I haven't seen Mueller's in years, so I just get any brand. I used to buy the Mueller's just because the recipe was on the back and it was easier to follow, but I can't find it anywhere. So if you want to cut it all in half to do a smaller recipe, you can, but we're going to do the full one because it's pretty much the whole family's going. So we're going to do a full stick of butter. It is salted butter, which is, yeah, a whole, yeah, half a cup. Sorry, I was just reading the ingredients and they just give you half and it said quarter cup, and I was like, no, we doubled everything. So, and then you have 6 tablespoons of the butter, or sorry, flour, 6 tablespoons of flour, and we're going to use half of a teaspoon of dry mustard, ground mustard, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. You can also add salt. We are going to leave the salt out just because we're using salted butter, and all of our mac and cheese is salted. Cheese is naturally salty. So we're not going to add any extra salt, but if you were to add salt, you could add up to a half of a teaspoon. So we have 4 cups of milk, and then we have 4 cups of cheese plus extra cheese that we're going to put on top. All right, I've got the oven preset to 350, and we're going to use this big square Pyrex, and I've got my water boiling, so let's throw in the macaroni noodles. Okay, so I completely forgot to press record, but we put our pasta, we cooked them for 3 minutes and then drained it, so it's completely drained. It's just the noodles in there. I have them off the burner a little bit just because that's still hot, because like I said, I have electric. So in another, I'd say a quite large saucepan, we're gonna make our cheese sauce. So we're first going to melt our stick of butter. So I'm not sure how everybody else makes their mac and cheese, but our family seems to really, really like this cheese. I have used many different types of cheeses. I decided to go the easier route this time and just buy some bagged cheese, but I do sometimes shred my own cheese, which that always obviously will make it taste better. But the stuff that I did buy, I'll show you as this butter melts. The stuff that I did buy is like freshly shredded, I guess. So this one's got cheddar, American, and Swiss cheeses. Sometimes I throw in mozzarella that makes it a little gooier and stringier. And then this is just the sharp cheddar. I just grabbed the white. You can grab orange so it looks more like a traditional macaroni and cheese. So I'm hoping that everybody really likes the view from me wearing the camera on my head. We'll find out. You guys will have to let me know. If you don't like it and you prefer to have the camera, you know, still on a box, because I know sometimes I move my head too quickly. I try not to move my head while I'm talking, but sometimes I'm, you know, shifting my weight and I'm standing on one foot and then shifting to the other, so It's definitely going to move the camera. You have to get this butter all melted. So I have the heat set at medium. I think I forgot to say that. You can have it medium or medium high. With the electric, I really prefer medium because I can always make it hotter. It's hard to cool it off. With a gas, you can always turn the flame down and it cools off faster. But electric is a little bit trickier. So now that our butter is melted, we're going to add our 6 tablespoons of flour. I'm just going to mix that all in there nice and well. Make sure we get all that flour mixed up. This is basically like a roux. You don't want it lumpy. You want to make sure it's nice and smooth. So if you see any lumps, just kind of squish them. I just squish them up against the side of the pot. And they just kind of fall apart. Mix it back in. All right, and then we're going to add our mustard, half of a teaspoon. We're going to mix that in there nice and well. The mustard I feel like sticks a little bit more than the flour. I think it likes to stay together. The flour's like, oh yeah, no, I'll separate. The mustard's like, no way. I wonder if you guys can probably hear the bottom of the spoon on the bottom of the pan. It's like got ridges on the bottom of the pan. So it's starting to bubble, which is really good. Add our pepper, which that usually just mixes right in really easily. All right, now that it's bubbling, we are slowly going to add our milk. And we're going to keep stirring. You want to keep making sure that that mixture is really, really, really mixed in there nice and well. Anytime you see any little lumpies, you want to kind of squish them, break them up a little bit. I mean, this is pretty easy. It's a little bit time consuming, I guess, but it's definitely worth it. I'm gonna add the rest of that one. So I'm trying not to turn my head to look to the side too much, just because I want to keep my my focus on the cheese sauce. So that was only 2 cups. We're going to add another 2 cups, but I want to let this get a little warmer. Make sure that everything from our sides is all mixed down in there. All right. Add the other 2 cups. I keep saying I'm going to buy a measuring cup that does more than 2 cups, but I never do. I have 3 measuring cups, so I don't think I'll ever need more than 6 cups of liquid anything. But who knows? I mean, I may. All right, so most of this is mixing really well, so you can add the rest of it once it looks really, really well mixed. But we have to bring this temperature back up. So we're just gonna sit here and we're gonna continue to stir. We're not gonna walk away for anything. So pretty sure I said that the macaroni noodles cooked for only 3 minutes. So you still want them like very al dente. I mean, you could eat those macaroni noodles, but they're going to be very crunchy. Yeah, you want them still pretty al dente just because you want them to soak up a lot of the moisture from the cheese mixture, and that's what's going to make it more flavorful. So we've been very, very busy. My husband and I actually went to a concert, so my parents watched the girls for like half a day. They did very well. I'm so happy. It was the first time that Mom was gone for a while. Obviously, I pre-cooked a whole bunch of food for Nana and Papa to just feed them, but they did go for lunch. They went to get pizza, so they went out for pizza. I'm sure the girls enjoyed it, and Mommy and Daddy had a pretty good night, so we did that. And then I'm not sure when you're going to see this video. It may be before Thanksgiving. Hopefully I can get it put together before Thanksgiving so you can see the girls eating the mac and cheese. So that was Thursday. Sunday, we are going to my brother's, which is tomorrow. It is 10:08 at night. We're going to my brother's tomorrow, and I'm just now baking this macaroni and cheese. But we're leaving after breakfast so that the girls can just nap there. And then wake up and we'll have an early dinner, late lunch. We're going to have ham and mac and cheese, and then I'm going to cook our turkey on Monday for Thanksgiving because we are actually going to, seeing how warm it was, there's steam coming off of it. We're going to my grandmother's, Great Nan. We're going to her house so that she doesn't have to leave her apartment. We're going there for Thanksgiving, so they'll be cooking the turkey there, but I wanted to do a video of the girls having Thanksgiving dinner so that you all can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner with them eating Thanksgiving dinner, and this way I don't have to worry about recording anything at actual Thanksgiving. I may take some pictures, but you know, so we can just enjoy our family and not have to worry about turning any cameras on or anything like that. So right around the edges, I don't know if you can see, it's starting to get little bubbles. It's definitely steaming, and there's tiny little bubbles right around the edges. That's how I know that it's pretty much boiling. So I'm going to turn the heat off, and we are going to add, sorry I had to turn my head. We're going to start with the mac and cheese blend. We're going to add that first. You can add it all in at once. You can add it a little at a time. Some cheeses melt differently than other cheeses. I've done it with these cheeses before, so I know that I can add it all at the same time. Harder cheeses like the Parmesans and stuff like that, they melt differently. So you might end up with a giant clump at the bottom. So if you're using a lot of Parmesan in your sauce part, add it slowly so that you don't end up with a giant like cheese ball right in the middle of this. Hopefully these cheeses melt. And I know that some of you are like, oh, you should have freshly ground or freshly grated the cheese. It melts better. There's no cellulose. And I mean, mac and cheese isn't exactly that healthy to begin with. So I like this, the one with the hole. I know that the cheese is getting stuck in there, but it helps me to see how melted it is. So this way I'm not trying to like scoop it. It will just stick in there. I did turn the heat back on. Yeah, just so it melts it a little bit more. Sorry about the pounding. I'm gonna add the cheddar. And I just buy the ShopRite brand of cheese as well. So it's our local food store. I do, the local food brand does not have the Italian cheeses, which I really do like for the top. So I do buy the Sargento for that. Bino is laying next to me, so I don't know if you can hear him. He's starting to scratch again. We also, yeah, I drive I'm making myself a little crazy. So Wednesday we actually have swim lessons and a vet appointment. So that's going to be a really crazy day. So I'm making mac and cheese for dinner tomorrow. Then I'm cooking the turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes. Our greens are just going to be frozen peas. But I'm going to do that for a video. And then for Thanksgiving, I'm also going to bake a pumpkin pie. So I'll do a video of that too. So you guys can see how I make the pumpkin pie. So I'm in charge of dessert for Thanksgiving. Oh, I forgot about the candied yams. I'm also in charge of the candied yams for Thanksgiving dinner. So I've got a lot on my plate. So now, yeah, it's pretty well melted. We're gonna make sure that it comes back to a really good boil. So my heat is still at medium. And it looks really, really liquidy, but once you bake it with the noodles, it really is going to come out very, very, I don't know, creamy and not liquidy. Yeah, I'm going to turn the heat off now. It's getting very melty. And you can add a little bit more pepper. Some people really like pepper. Some people don't. When I make this for myself, I just really honestly, I don't even measure the pepper. I just start cracking fresh pepper over top of it until it looks the way I like it. But because there's, you know, I'm serving this to my family, I'm going to just measure it out and do it how they're used to. So it's gotten a little thicker because the cheese is all nicely melted. So we are now going to dump this right over top of our noodles. So you can do this in a giant pot and just keep the noodles in that giant pot. Or you can put the noodles in the dish you're going to be baking in and pour the sauce over that. As long as you like mix it in the pot so that it's all mixed in there really well. And I'm actually going to turn the camera off because Bino has to go outside. So thankfully he decided to go outside now when I can take a break. So we'll be right back and we'll get this into the baking dish and prepared to bake. Okay, so we're back. The dog has gone outside. So we're going to literally just take this whole pot and we're going to dump it into our baking dish. I pour it away from me just so that I don't end up with cheese all down the front of me until I can handle the pot with one hand. If you have a hard time pouring things, then I suggest putting the noodles in. Sorry for moving so quickly. Putting the noodles in here and then mixing the cheese sauce in over top of it. It really doesn't matter which way you do it. So now that all of our cheese and noodles are mixed well and in there, all nice and good, I'm going to try to get some of that cheese off there. Just balance it there. We're going to take our Sargento aged Italian blend. So you can, I have in the past, just used grated Parmesan cheese and just sprinkled it over top. You can do that. And just sprinkle it until the grated Parmesan soaks it up. If you would like to do that, that's awesome. That's what I normally do. So my family's in for a little bit of a surprise with this, but this has mozzarella and aged Fontina, Parmesan and Romano and Asiago. So if there's any cheeses that my family doesn't like. Okay, everyone, sorry, the camera actually got overheated. So maybe I can't wear it on my head for cooking videos, or not the whole time anyway. So if you don't do the grated Parmesan, just take whatever cheese you're doing. You can even do some more cheddar cheese just on top. This is going to give you that nice crust. You can use breadcrumbs. I know some people absolutely hate breadcrumbs on top of their mozzarella or their mac and cheese. Sorry, I can really smell the mozzarella in here. So I'm probably going to use this whole package. And this package is 1.5 cups. You can use another package that's 2 cups. You know, if you want that orange, you know, crust on top, you can add some orange cheese to it. Which I may add a little bit of orange cheddar just to give it the good appearance of orange. I didn't use much orange cheese in it. So yeah, actually, if the camera shuts off again, I'm going to go get some orange cheddar out of the fridge just to sprinkle a little bit of that on top. It's funny, I almost pulled this out of the fridge and had it in a little bowl, and I was like, no, but you know, it's looking a little white, so we'll just put a little bit of orange cheddar on top. Just so that the people that in my family that like things to be consistent and the same every time don't see anything that's too different. Alright, so now our oven is already preheated. It's at 350. It's ready to go, and we are going to bake this for 20 minutes and then take a look at it. I'm not sure if the camera is going to want to take a look at it, but we'll do our best. Alright, so I'm going to go put this in the oven, and I wish I could take you with me, but the camera keeps shutting off, so I can't carry this and the camera at the same time. But I'll show you what it looks like when we're done, alright? And we'll be back. Okay, so it's been, I'm standing far back from the oven because I don't want the camera to turn off, but it's been about 25 minutes. You want to wait until it's like bubbling. I'll put the camera a little closer. Hopefully you can see the bubbling. Okay. And now for the top, I'm going to actually turn the broiler on. Alright, so I'm back. I left it broiling for 3 minutes. You can still hear it kind of bubbling and boiling. But yeah, so it gives it that nice, you know, crispy little top right there. Browns it up really nice. So yeah, so in the description down below, I will put the link to the girls eating Mama's baked mac and cheese with the ham. And if I'm not answering comments, it's because I'm either sleeping or busy cooking. I'm going to try to get caught up on all the comments after Thanksgiving. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you get around to baking it and tasting it. All right, happy Thanksgiving. We'll definitely see you before Thanksgiving, but want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving now. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.